Hello guys, it's been a long time, but now I'm back with another video. This video is a review of the Logitech G410 Mechanical Gaming keyboard. First off, the packaging is nothing special, with only some basic information of the product printed on the sides and including only a user manual in addition to the keyboard inside. The keyboard itself is 10 keyless, meaning it doesn't have the numpad on the right end of the keyboard, therefore freeing up some space for example, a bigger mousepad. These kinds of keyboards are also often referred to as tournament editions or tournament keyboards, and they're particularly popular with FPS gamers and people with less space on their desk. The keyboard does, however, come with individual arrow keys and the page up, down, etc. above them, as you can see. The keyboard is made of rugged plastic and doesn't attract fingerprints, which is a great plus. It does, however, have glossy plastic details which are prone to getting fingerprints. Under the keyboard, you have two legs to prop up the keyboard into a certain angle, but they only have two positions, limiting the amount of positions available to two. On the top side of the keyboard is the arc stock, which is used as a stand for your phone. Also worth mentioning is that the cable that the keyboard uses to attach to the PC is non-detachable but is very rugged and well stress-proofed. With the software that Logitech provides for the keyboard and your phone, you can use your phone to display PC statistics and customize your mouse DPI settings, if you have a Logitech gaming mouse, that is. As you can see, I use it to display my GPU and CPU temperatures and fan clock speeds, as well as RAM usage. You can download the Arcs app for your phone at least iPhone and Android app stores, but I doubt that it's available for Windows phones. I found the Arcs dock a bit weird. Instead of angling the fins inside the dock towards the keyboard, they should be angled outwards so that the phone that is placed in it faces up and forwards. I solved the problem by inserting the stand into its dock the wrong way around. Despite this design flaw, I use the dock a lot and consider it a very useful feature to be able to see PC stats, etc. on my phone screen. Other handy features on the keyboard are the caps lock and scroll lock indicators on the top right corner and the gaming mode toggling button next to them, which allows the users to disable any key with the press of that button. This could be used to prevent trolls at LANs from exiting you out of your game, or simply to prevent yourself from tapping the Windows key by mistake. The most notable feature of this keyboard is its Roma G switches that were developed by Omron and Logitech to allow better, more balanced backlighting and faster response times. I find that the keycaps also tilt less when pressed from the edges compared to their Cherry MX counterparts. It's hard to describe the feel of typing with these switches. They're certainly quieter than Cherry MX switches and feel a lot like Cherry MX browns. The difference is most noticeable when bottoming out the keys. It doesn't clack or hit the board hard, but is instead dampened like when you use O-rings with Cherry switches, but more noticeable. If you're the kind of typist that doesn't bottom out their keys like me, then the difference isn't that big. But the keys definitely feel more responsive and sturdy or stable than the Cherry MX browns I'm used to. One aspect of the keyboard that has been heavily criticized is its gamery keycap design. The font is certainly quite gamer-esque, and with no spare caps included with the keyboard for its sci-fi, WASD and arrow keys, it does indicate that the keyboard was designed with gamers in mind, but at least they let a decent amount of light through. It's also worth mentioning that Logitech have completely given up the angled keycap design that can be found on the G910 and has reverted to the regular shape on all keys, as you can see. Now, let's get into the lighting of the keyboard. So as I mentioned earlier, the keyboard does feature full RGB backlighting on all keys. There is also hardly any bleed at the bottom of the keycaps, and it appears more like the light is being channeled directly to the legends on the keycaps. The colors are very vibrant, especially when using the keyboard in darker conditions, but also in brighter rooms. The color of the keys is also visible from all angles and not just from the top. On the software side, it's possible to configure the lighting on the keyboard in various ways. There are 3 modes, one where you can pick the color of each key individually, one with zones that you can pick a color for, and one where you can pick effects that span the whole keyboard, such as a rainbow, wave type of thing, and reactive typing. One major gripe I have with the keyboard, or the keyboard software mainly, is the fact that I can't assign new actions for keys, like change my enter button to the shift button. As a gamer, I especially appreciate features like that. With my other keyboard, the Corsair K65 RGB, I could do things such as set the X key to spam my mouse left click really fast, and when combined with pistol in a game like Counter-Strike, it was really useful. Another thing that bothered me with this keyboard is the lack of a wrist rest, or a proper one at least. Not that I use wrist rest, but the so-called wrist rest on the keyboard that you can't take off is small and my wrist won't really rest on it. On the other hand, it's not in the way either, so it works fine for me. Just as a warning, if you want a wrist rest with your keyboard, you might have to make one yourself for this one. All in all, the keyboard is very good with a few minor cons that might mean more to other users. The key feature of this keyboard for me was the Roma G switches, which I feel were absolutely amazing. And also the Arc software for my phone, so that I can use it as a second screen to display data, and the RGB lighting, despite the fact that it doesn't quite match the feature set of Corsair's RGB lighting. I guess this concludes my review, and I'll see you guys next time.